Welcome back to another episode of TruthSeekerZ. I am Austin, your host. This is Michael, our producer, and this is Brandon, the cameraman. We do not have our camera set up perfectly yet, so he's still going to fill in as a talker for now. This is episode 2. We were talking about FEMA and FEMA camps and conspiracy around that. First of all, what is FEMA? FEMA is the Federal Emergency Management Agency. That's what they want us to think. I'm not saying I agree with it or we don't agree with it, but anyways. And before we get started in this, next episode, episode 3, is going to be about aliens, and we're going to have a guest speaker. His name is Joe. He was in the military, and he was stationed in Germany in the 1960s. He's going to talk to us about, he said that he saw a UFO with him and some of his platoon members, so
they were stationed in Germany, right?
Yeah, stationed in Germany. 1960s, I believe he said, but we'll have him on next video. Don't forget to tune in. That'll be a treat. All right, so let's get started here. What do you guys think about the FEMA camps? Do you think it is a conspiracy? Or you think they're just doing their job?
That I really think like it is a conspiracy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
Just because they like imprison millions of Americans. That.
What do you mean they imprison millions of Americans? Okay, Mike, how about you?
Well, I think it's a bit of both. Like, yes, they are hiding some stuff. I believe there was a conspiracy around it, but I don't think.
What did you hear about it?
Well, I heard that they have camps set up, obviously, and
lots of camps.
Lots of camps.
800 to be exact.
In the entire country?
Yes.
Okay, so 800 FEMA camps around the country, and that's just in the United States.
And basically, when there's like a hurricane or anything, they help like relieve people who have been affected by it, and they put them in these camps to help them out. But the conspiracy is that they're using them to like imprison people there, like average American citizens, possibly like for population control, kind of.
Yeah. What's interesting is I read apparently each one can hold about, what was it? I think 1 million or 2 million.
No way.
A million. I think a million.
No, I saw what you're talking about. The biggest one they have can hold 1 million people.
Yeah, the biggest
but
one.
From average, it was 1,000 to about 100 to 200,000 people. They use FEMA camps. They're not just certain facilities, because if like times get bad, they can use stadiums. You ever seen movies where they have them in the stadiums and stuff like that? You can have that.
Yeah, they're like on the improvised ones.
Yeah.
Yes.
And this is not a new thing where we take people from our population and put them into camps for the safety or to find out what they did. For an example, on December 7th, 1941, Pearl Harbor happened and we were attacked by the Japanese. So President Franklin Roosevelt at the time, he set up these Japanese internment camps, and he sent almost 120,000 Japanese American citizens. This was his executive order number 9066. Okay, this lasted from like 1942 to 1945.
Yeah.
Okay, and he took almost 120,000 Japanese citizens. I mean, not citizens, Japanese American citizens that were
lived here.
Yeah,
right?
Two-thirds of the 120,000 people were born in the United States.
Yeah.
They're protected underneath the Constitution. They have all the rights everybody else has. They're just Japanese, and this happened.
And yet they still got put in the camps.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
History, is bound to repeat itself. You ever heard that?
Yes.
History will repeat itself. How do we know that this won't happen again?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Martial law. They can put in the martial law and start.
Yeah, they did that at the LA riots, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Martial. Yep. And Hurricane Katrina.
Yeah.
Right. They. I heard. I was watching the video, and the police force was instructed by big groups, and FEMA was part of them, to implement martial law, and they went around taking people's guns. That's their Second Amendment right. Okay, they suspended that and they took all the people's guns away. Okay, they're talking about nobody should be armed but the police. Now, is that fair?
No.
You don't have the right to protect yourself.
Exactly.
Right? You can't just go in and take people's guns because there was a hurricane. That doesn't make any sense.
Because
Well,
they think it'd be better.
you know, it's interesting is that on some of the camps, you know, they'll try to cover up and say, oh, you know, it's just, you know, a recuperation like facility, but on the sign it'll say, do not bring anything to aid escape for the people that are in there.
Where'd you see that?
You know,
That was on the doc I watched,
On the what?
the documentary.
You watched on the. Okay.
And it, you know,
I do have something.
it is kind of suspicious.
I do have something to add there. Yeah, I did watch a video. I watched a video and I read an article. I don't have the article with me, but I did read an article and it was talking about how some of the FEMA camps that this guy, you know, was investigating, they had barbed wire fences around the whole facility, right?
Yeah.
But you know how the barbed wire fence points like this way, so people can't, you know, escape.
Yeah,
Usually it's on the outside, so people can't get in. No, this was on the inside, so people couldn't get out.
exactly.
Why aren't they trying to let people leave? Why, if it's a rehabilitational facility for like people that are hurt in these disasters, why are they trying to keep them in against their will?
you're right.
All right, they're hiding something.
Yeah.
Shit's going down. But you know, FEMA doesn't just help with natural disasters like earthquakes, tsunamis, and hurricanes, stuff like that. They also help if there's terrorist attacks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that's another theory. You know, these terrorist attacks can be planned out by the military. I mean, by the government. You know, Operation Northwoods. You heard that, right?
No.
No, you haven't heard that?
I've never heard about
Well, anyways, it was a secret thing where the government would stage attacks on its own people to scare them and create martial law and to do things that they wouldn't be able to do without it. Okay, so like let's say, you know, mass shootings. People say that these mass shootings are fake, so that politicians can implement more gun laws and get more guns off the street.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? You follow me?
Yeah, child crisis.
Where I'm going with this, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so another thing that, you know, that FEMA camps can be around for, you know, Agenda 21, when that shit hits the fan. For you that don't know what Agenda 21 is, it's a non-binding action plan of the United Nations, and it is regards to sustainable development. So, you know, one of the biggest things in there is reducing the world's population. Okay, right now we're at 7.53 billion people in the world. Right, that is ridiculous.
And by the year 2100, I heard it should reach about like 11 billion.
11 billion.
11 billion people, drastically increased.
Yeah. Yeah, that.
And by then, like, there won't be enough like resources to go around.
our own.
Whole,
So their idea, like you just said, that was a good point. Their idea is, why should we wait for it to get that bad where everybody dies, right?
Sustainability.
But we don't know that will happen. We don't know.
Exactly.
There's so much advantage. That could be true. There could be that there's not enough resources to go around, and then eventually we do die off because we all fight for it, like Mike said. But their idea is we need to do it now. We need to cut the population drastically. Like I saw a thing where it was like they wanted to drop it 95% and just have 5% of the population living in the world.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
What's
scary.
5% of 7.5 billion? I don't know.
That's
Doing like that, I don't know.
it's a lot less than a billion, that's for sure.
I don't know. Let's do 7.5 billion. That's a million. Oh, it doesn't even let me go to a billion. Cool. All right. Anyways, Brent, look that up. We're gonna have Brent look it up for you. But anyways, what I'm trying to get here: 95% of the world's population gone. How are they gonna do that? How do they plan on doing that? What would that mean?
I mean, mass extermination.
Yeah, how would they? That's how we're getting back to the FEMA camp. There was a video going around. I think you saw it, where they had these trains. They had tons of trains going to these FEMA facilities. They're filled with black body bags. They're not bags, but they were like tubs. You've seen it, right?
Kind of like
Yeah, like those plastic tubs. You
Yeah, the plastic coffins.
Yeah, you saw the video. Go look at the video. It's on YouTube. But these mass black bags, you know, they're using that to put bodies in. Okay, there's hundreds of these camps, like Brandon said, 800 or something like that, 800 camps, all of them filled with these things. That is a lot of people, and the only people that will survive, this mass extinction will be the rich politicians, the dirty politicians, world leaders. Everybody else is
all the people who are like at the top of the top in human society.
Yeah, everybody else just boom, they don't care. It's not a big deal for them.
Yeah, you, me.
Do 5% of that.
5%.
5% of 7.5 billion. But yeah, anyways, the Agenda 21 was introduced to the Earth Summit in the UN in 1992. What was that, 27 years ago?
27 years ago.
Quick math. 27 years ago that this was implemented. And the thing that that they were trying to work for was reducing the population. How do you do that? They're adding a lot more abortion laws. It's easier for them to kill unwanted babies or babies that have certain diseases and whatnot. Because for modern medicine, we can identify that early now. But
there's also more gun laws.
More gun laws being.
So we can't really defend ourselves if anything did happen. What does it say?
So about 1.5 billion people would be left on this planet.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound right.
Yeah, it doesn't sound right.
That does not sound right at all.
That does not sound right, Brandon.
No.
It'd be a lot less.
You said divided.
We might have to get a new computer guy because that was all right.
That was wrong.
That was really bad, Brandon. All right.
I'll just cut that part out.
Yeah, cut that part out. But as you're saying, what were we saying about the gun laws, right? More gun laws.
So basically, yeah, like if something were to happen, like a mass extermination of regular citizens around the world, then we wouldn't be able to fight back or do anything about it,
Mm-hmm. An armed society, safe society. Okay. That's why our founding fathers, put that in the Constitution. But that's for another video. But another thing that I saw in a article, I think it was on WikiLeaks, but that FEMA had over a million rounds of ammunition shipped to their facilities. Why does a disaster relief organization need 1 million rounds of ammunition? That's what the National Guard is for. If something's going on at hand, the president calls in the National Guard. You don't have FEMA people walking around with AKs or M4s or whatever, but you can't have citizens with their guns? How does that make any sense? It doesn't make any sense. What do you think about that, Mike?
I definitely think it's something that is very suspicious because, I mean, like you said, FEMA's only job is disaster relief. They're not trying to harm anybody. Their one goal is just to help people. So but that's what they also want us to think too.
Yeah. And we're not saying FEMA's bad.
Yeah, no, we're not saying FEMA's bad.
We're just playing on the other side.
We're just speculating.
It's just a little sketchy, Yeah.
But then we were joking around a little earlier. We were talking about lizard people. Okay, that's gonna be in another video because that's one of my favorite topics. I love talking about that. It's really funny. But anyways, we were talking and we were saying I said that all the body bags or the body things could be for putting these dead bodies in there and shipping them down to the Hollow Earth for the lizard people
to eat them.
Yeah, that was just a joke. But we will talk about lizard people in another episode. But another thing, one of our friends said, Matt, that was not here. He was talking about how these FEMA camps can be medical testing sites for human beings. So pretty much when there's a natural disaster, a lot of people are killed. A lot of people are missing, right? So the FEMA camps may take these missing people and take them to their facilities. And, as months go by, obviously people would be like, okay, they died in the natural disaster. But what the FEMA people do, they also say they're dead, so nobody's looking for them. And the FEMA will be, testing all types of different experiments, cure for cancer, biological weapons, you know, stuff like that. What kills
Cures
off
for different
cures,
diseases, vaccines maybe,
or chemical warfare. How do you
warfare.
spread diseases? How
Right,
do you
yeah.
how do you do that?
Bio-war.
And then if the things do go bad and it kills the people, they were already declared dead in the natural disaster.
Yeah.
So no one's gonna ask any questions.
And
that leads back to
there's no culpability in it.
And that leads back to the barbed wire fences, all keeping everything in. They're trying to keep people from not coming out. But yeah, it's crazy. Anything else, Mike?
Let me think.
Anything else, Brian? Oh yeah.
Who should talk more about Agenda 21?
What I don't want. I mean, well, what else you got about it?
Well, I mean, you know, because it's
It's a big topic. It's a very big topic. We kind of just skimmed over it.
It's not something that's also just like a theory. It's like a fact.
It's a real thing.
Yeah,
There's a
it's a real
PDF that
fact.
you guys can go look up. Go look up Agenda 21. There's a PDF by the United Nations, all right there. It gets like 324 pages, something like that.
And the way they would want us all to live in order to sustain our society and the earth is, you know, there'd be like no freedom at all. People would have to live by strict rules.
More big cities. More people. They would be packing us in like rats.
No cars. It'd be like what they say, like walkable cities or something like that.
Only the elites. Only the elites will have cars, jets,
Freedom.
yachts.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it's crazy. But our friend Brandon right here, before the podcast, he was watching a lot of videos on how they debunked the theory of FEMA. So, Brandon, just talk about a little bit about what you saw in those videos. How did they disclaim this theory?
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of skimmed through it, but it seemed to me like that they're trying to deny like every allegation almost.
Yeah, but what did they give to back it up?
Like
they just saying, "Oh, it's not true." I can say that.
Yeah,
about
stuff like that.
I can say that about anything, though.
Yeah, they didn't really give a long explanation.
Do they have proof or like any like reasoning for it?
Not really. Not like I wouldn't say like valid proof because at that point it's just hearsay. You know.
Yeah,
Like,
you're right.
this is what I believe in, and because it was only made by one person.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't made by like multiple like editors. So really, I would say that that's just hearsay, and it's not. I wouldn't even say it's like true because it's not debunked until you actually get hard evidence of like what they're really doing in the FEMA camps.
Yep. Yeah. And it's just crazy how these organizations can do all this stuff, you know, underneath the government, because the government knows. The government funds these organizations, so it's not like these organizations are on their own. The government is involved with them very much.
It's supported by the government.
Yeah. So when these things happen, you know, martial law and stuff like that, it's just it blows my mind how in when they declare martial law, it can suspend your constitutional rights as an American. It can expend
Second Amendment.
yeah, the Second Amendment, your right to bear arms, First Amendment, your right to free speech, your Fourth Amendment, the right to, you know, unlawful seizures and
Searches and
yeah, there you
seizures.
go. All right, anyways,
Searches.
it's just it blows my mind, and they, you know, they might be completely legit. We never know. That's why we have this. You know, podcast. You know, talk about it. Whatever you guys believe, you know, leave comments below. But anyways, it's just there could be a lot of dirty stuff going on, and
Some could be fake, some could be real. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But as I said before, history can repeat itself, and if this happened today, where they rounded up a bunch of us and took our rights away, it'd be a big, real serious problem. And then the UN. I'm not saying, you know, with the Agenda 21, this stuff's scary. You know, this
It could like
Well,
round up the entire
not only
country.
that.
you know?
Speaking of which,
a mass depopulation. That's all of us. That's an everyday American. Everybody watching. That's the average American.
And families.
Speaking of, you know,
it's messed up.
yeah, speaking of, you know, taking guns away, like what what if that were to happen, like hypothetically, and
Why
you know,
do you think we're doing?
everyone starts rioting, and what if you get transported to FEMA?
But if we don't have guns, then
Exactly.
you know,
And what if the FEMA
they-
camps just round you up and you're never seen or heard from again?
Why are we the only country
Yeah.
that allows our citizens to be armed? It's in the Constitution.
Yeah.
Our founding fathers were not stupid.
Yeah.
They knew what was going on. They came from a country that did not allow them to do these things. That's
Yeah.
why we have.
And they came from much worse conditions. They didn't have a constitution before then. You
He
know,
made all the
they had
at the time.
They had to
Yeah.
follow what the king and queen said, or else you'd be executed. But you know, with that, it guarantees your certain freedoms.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, like even now, it's starting those gun laws. There are starting to be more and more gun laws. It's starting to be more like restrictive. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, the mass shootings. The New Zealand's prime minister already put a ban in effect for all military semi.
Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah.
Yep, the day after it happened.
No, 6 days. 6 days after.
Well, I said days.
Yeah.
I meant to say days. But yeah, but these things.
Almost immediate.
Yeah, exactly. How, like I said before, like the fake terrorist attacks or whatever, like you just said, that these things could happen. That these martial law, things can happen where they have to implement martial law, and that's where FEMA comes involved, and then that's how they can get people in the camps.
Yeah.
Fill them up. I don't know how they can make money off of these people and doing science experiments or taking these people and selling their organs. Organs are very expensive.
Yeah.
Black market, they could be taking all of them. It's crazy.
And sell what? How much do you sell like a kidney for? Like a couple $100,000.
On the black market, yeah,
It's expensive, very expensive.
Yeah.
It goes for a lot. I was watching a video about abortion, and sometimes if they take the baby and when they do the abortion and they sell the body parts, Planned Parenthood is selling body parts to make money.
Yeah.
It's messed up if you think about it. Really.
So it's messed up.
That is messed up.
Yeah, but all these things, they could be real, it could be fake, but it's up to you to decide. We're just talking about it. We don't have a side.
Yeah.
But yeah, make sure you tune in. Next episode, we're talking about aliens. We're gonna have our special guest on, and hopefully we're gonna have our other member Matt. We're gonna get more people. We're gonna hire an editor, make these videos a little bit more pristine for you guys. But
More professional.
yeah. Make sure to like and subscribe to our channel. All right. Thank you guys.
Thank you.